A woman wanted to kidnap him, but this 10-year-old boy did something amazing to save his own life.
If you're getting followed, don't trust them. Just act casual and go by any adult.
Security cameras captured the incredible moment. Little Sammy Green was calmly walking home when out of nowhere a woman appeared and started chatting to him, trying to find out if he was alone.
It's like, I'm going to Wawa. Do you want to come with me? Are you going to Wawa? What are you getting?
The strange woman was very interested in Sammy, asking him if his family was nearby or what he was going to do, and so she followed him for a couple of blocks.
I was scared and shaking, so I was thinking something really fast.
Even though nothing happened, the scene was terrifying for anyone who has a child. It's a clear demonstration that danger really can be anywhere. That's why, despite his happiness that nothing happened to his son, Sammy's father was frightened.
I was fine until I saw that video. And then when I see my son walk over to Hannah and whisper to her, then I broke down. You know, that's when everything hit me. Really scary, really scary. But he handled it very well. I'm so proud of him.
The little boy was terrified by the situation, but when he saw the face of Hannah, a cashier he recognized from the shop he was passing through, he knew this was his moment and his only chance. And when no one was expecting it, he went in and set his plan in motion.
I told Hannah, that she's been following me for a while. I just said, I'm going to act like you're my mom, and she said, okay.
And I just thought it was a regular interaction with a mother and his son, but the woman had stood in the doorway kind of hanging there, and I could tell she wasn't coherent. My first thought was just to make sure that Sammy was okay, and then he went back home to the people that he belonged with and his family.
The strategy he put together in his head was worthy of applause, because you don't expect a child to act that way in a dangerous situation. However, Sammy had listened to his father well when he gave him key advice on how to get out of such moments safely.
How did you think of that plan so quickly?
It just came to my mind.
Fortunately, the situation didn't escalate, and both Sammy and Hannah deserve absolute kudos for the performance they both put on.
He just knew something was not right and did what he needed to do.
He did what he was supposed to do because he didn't know the person.
As for the woman who almost turned the story into a nightmare if she managed to abduct the little boy, she was arrested a few hours later after the complaint was filed.
Yeah, police are saying the same thing tonight when I talked to him a few minutes ago. They're praising the boy for his quick actions, also for remaining so calm during all this. Now, they said they did locate the woman involved here. They tell me that she's now being referred for mental health help.
The truth is that cases like Sammy's aren't uncommon. There are hundreds of children who on a day-to-day basis are at risk of being abducted by unscrupulous adults. However, of course, many of them end up being saved by people who see that the little ones are at risk and help them in any way they can.
Quick thinking between employees led to a heroic child rescue. Right here on these stairs, a man grabbed a 10-year-old boy out of the water, luring him under the pretense of being the mother's fiance. But two employees at Coeur d'Alene Paracel didn't think it was right.
Here, of course, the heroes were the workers who realized that something wasn't right between the boy and the man, so they decided to act.
Immediately, the kid went around me and kind of hid behind me and stated, I don't know that man and he's not my dad. Then he started heading back down the dock, and I'm like, Riley, you stay with the kid, find his mom. I'm gonna go follow this guy because we can't let him go. If we let him go, he could be gone forever. He's like, stop following me, leave and go back to your booth. And I was like, no. He's just like a main actor in like a horror movie, like that kind of creepy.
Kids are getting more and more trained to deal with those kinds of situations when they are on their own. For parents, it has become a priority in parenting to make sure that children are aware of the dangers they can face in the streets and that have certain notions of how to avoid them or techniques to avoid them for good.
I was taking the garbage out. This guy walked over me and then he held my hand and took me. And I screamed and ran inside, started crying.
How proud are you of your daughter and her quick thinking?
Yeah, she was super brave. She listened to what we have taught her and what she's seen on TV. and, she screamed and she got away.
Cases like this have become sadly famous in the streets of the world, but miraculously, there have not been many recorded cases of kidnappings have ended well for the captors. The good thing is that it has always been possible to find people ready and willing to help. And that's what ultimately saved Sammy's life when he was trying to escape from this woman. The fact that Hannah was there and followed her lead was the key to the imminent kidnapper escaping from there and leaving the boy alone with his supposed mother.
I told Hannah, that she's been following me for a while. I just said, I'm going to act like you're my mom, and she said, okay.
And I just thought it was a regular interaction with a mother and his son, but the woman had stood in the doorway kind of hanging there, and I could tell she wasn't coherent.
The best advice he could give was the following.
If you're getting followed, don't trust them. Just act casual and go by any adult.
Thank you.